I say this repeatedly, that nothing happens to us, it happens for us. And that's that victim state. When we talk about the victimhood, the victim state, 98% of people on this planet right now are caught in this victim state. Oh, this happened to me. This happened to me. How bad are these other people? No, nothing ever happens to you, with an exception. I'll get to it in a second. Nothing ever happens to you. It happens for you. I remember the exact moment when I realized, holy shit, this isn't happening to me. This is happening for me. It happened at the Hershey Arena skating rink, and my little one has autism. He has high functioning autism. So, he's a little quirky. I had a couple teachers actually call me a bad parent before he was diagnosed with autism. I mean, the things a special needs parent goes through are heartbreaking and at the same time so challenging it almost breaks you. So when I had him join this specific club, a skating club, there was a challenges getting him into this club because the board at the time, although they say they were all inclusive, the higher board members said no. And the reason why no was because he had autism. Long story short, he was allowed in. He had a fantastic time. This program is excellent. The coaches are excellent. I had no problem with the program whatsoever. We got to Hershey and I saw him start getting very nervous, and I saw him over in the corner trying to hide. He was trying to hide because it was too much sensory for him. One of my friends who's still in this club is also a special needs mom. And all it took was this one look. And if you're a special needs parent, you'll get it. It's this one look that you see another one kind of start to go down and you swoop in to try to help. This is what she did for me. And she took her badge off that gave her credentials to go backstage with the kids if needed. And she's like, here, Stacie, take this. If he ends up having a problem backstage, you'll be able to get back there to get to him. And that's the best I can tell you as a lifeline for a special needs mom, is having somebody else see it in you and you not having to ask. She took it off, gave it to me, and it was right in front of the board president at the time. Nobody said anything. He went off with his group. My friend turned around and just said to me, I'll let you know that everything's fine. And I said, great, I'm going to go sit down. Still had this badge around my neck. And I started to walk away, and the board president's like, you need to give me that badge back right now. And I looked at her and I was like, I can't. I need to get back there to him. And I went to go sit down, and she came right in front of me and she goes, give me that badge back now. And I kind of chuckled, like, you're cute. And I thought in my head, if I was in not the place I was in during this, I was just entering the dark night, and I was actively avoiding any negative interaction, any negative responses. And if I wouldn't have been in that place right in that moment, this would have turned into a much bigger story. But all I did was chuckle and walked away and went to sit down. I heard her yelling after me. I heard her yelling at me, come back here, come back here. And I just ignored her. I walked away. And then my friend who runs the organization came over, and she just basically told me, like, I can't have that. She told me there were rules, which I didn't realize. And I was still mad. Like, I was mad that I was not allowed to have the protection over my child that I felt I needed. But this was the moment that I realized that nothing happens to us. This wasn't being done to me. This happened for me. I took the badge off, I gave it back to her, and I remember sitting back into my chair, and I was seething, but not at anybody other than me. I was seething because I was like, God damn it, Stacie, you are like this. And I sat there and I thought, my God, my patterns were right. Wow. Like, this really showed me. This happened for me. The inability to get to my child was happening for me for two different reasons. Number one, I needed to be able to trust the universe. I needed to be able to trust my friend that he was going to be okay. And number two, I thought about Holly sitting there and thinking how hard it must be for her to drop her child off at this house where she can't protect her and she can't get to her. And her daughter's not even allowed to contact her when she's at her ex's house. And I sat there thinking, I am so glad this happened, because I now understand Holly at a deeper level. And I also understand myself and how I saw how I would have reacted had I not been in this place. And that was not a very good thing. It was not a very positive reaction I would have had, instead of just chuckling and walking away. Was I in the right gray area? Doesn't even matter, right? Were they in the right gray area? Doesn't even matter. The point here is that this was the moment that I realized, holy shit, things do happen for us. They don't ever happen to us, even though it might feel that way. So I mentioned before how there is a time that you could be a victim, and that is only in that place and time when you are being actively victimized. You're being actively harmed by somebody else. That is victimization. What we really don't realize is we hold ourselves in that state of victimization all by ourselves anymore. And that's really what we do when we tell our victim stories, that we want people to enable us, to hold our hand, tell us it's okay to feel this way, when really it was okay to feel that way when you were being victimized. And that is it. By retelling our stories, by trying to get people to hold our hand, because we are no longer a victim after it ends. It does take a bit of a healing process to move out of that victim state. There's no way you can go from 1 minute being victimized in, let's just say, an assault, to the very next moment going, okay, I'm over it. No, that doesn't happen. There is a transition time. And it is our choice if we're going to stay as a victim or if we're going to move along and learn from what happened and move along in order to be better in our life and grow. But we have gotten into a state in this world where being a victim is a way of life, is a definition of how we live our life. And those who choose not to be those victims anymore are the ones who are truly free. The people who have things happen to them and then able are to heal and able to move on and live a high vibrational life are those who are truly free. Thank you to my Patreon members on the Empower, Manifest, and Key Supporter levels. These community members receive exclusive content from me on patreon.com and one-on-one access to me on a daily basis. Christy, Gail, Tina, Anna, Lisa, Lindsay, Tori, Melinda, KB Rocks, Julie, John, Soups on Me, Kelly, Sunil, GMAC, Big Feet 30, Caitlin, Stu 18, Cindy, and of course, Holly. If you are interested in receiving the same benefits, please go to patreon.com/THECAY. Follow the Key to Soul Awakening on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you enjoy learning real-life strategies to using spirituality in day-to-day life, subscribe now. And as my son Buddy says, ding ding, don't forget to hit that bell. Also, please share this video on your own social media platforms. The wider my net is, the more people I can reach to help them find their way to happiness. Thank you for helping me.